of these things that, let me just go to this. The obstacles of prayer. Okay, if you want to know what are the obstacles of prayer, one of it is a lack of faith. You know, God, I'm going to pray for this, but I don't really know if you'll do it or not. Be like Solana's Casey, thank you. And we know that God is not going to give us something that's not going to be good for us. It's not going to be good for us. Another obstacle of prayer is an unforgiving spirit. You know, it says, go and make peace with your brother, and then you come offer your gift. That's an obstacle to prayer if you are unforgiving spirit. Also, impatience. That is another obstacle of prayer. I'm going to end with this. It might not have anything to do with it, but you can tell I love it. I just love it because it shows, anyway, I just love this gentleman. And anyway, I'm going to just tell you something about it because it shows what we should be as Catholics, as prayers, as people that love the Lord. And I'm going to quote one of my favorite people. That's Hilaire Belloc. Joseph Pierce wrote a beautiful book on him called Old Thunder, if you want to read something wonderful. But I'll never forget, he lived in France for a while, and anyway, he was in England, and he was going to run for Parliament. And that's when they hated Catholics and Frenchmen. So all the Catholics got to him and said, look, if you want to win this election, you do not have to emphasize your Catholic faith. You don't have to do that. So what did Hilaire Belloc do? When he gave his first speech, campaigning to be, he was running for Parliament, he had it in a Catholic school. And he got up before the people, and he said, I want you to know something. He said, I go to Mass, if possible, every day. And he held up a rosary. And he said, this is a rosary. And the way he said, I say the beads daily, if I can. And he said, if you do not vote for me because I'm Catholic, I want to thank God for the privilege of not serving in the Parliament. There was dead silence. Pretty soon, everybody started clapping. He won the election. But that is a true story. That's Hilaire Belloc. I love this little story too. Maybe it's an adoration story. You remember little St. Peter Julian Amard? He lived in a little village. He was 5 years old. And they say maybe he did this because his mother used to take him to make a little visit to the church. It was a small village. One day, he's 5 years old, he's missing. He's absolutely missing. They looked everywhere for him. His sister finally went in the church. She went behind the altar, and in the altar there, the tabernacle, there was a ladder that goes up to the back of the tabernacle. He was sitting at the top of the ladder, 5 years old. She said, she found him up there. She said, what are you doing? He said, I can hear him better up here. Isn't that precious? And you remember little children out of the mouths of babes. You remember one of the little Fatima children. The Blessed Mother told him he was going to die. So he decided, if I'm going to die, I'm not going to go to school. So Lucy would lead him off at the church. If you go to Fatima, you can go in that little church. I love it. You go in the church. He was staying there all day. He was the contemplative. he would go up and he would have his little elbows on the altar. He would stay there all day. And she would come home from school and she would pick him up at the church. He'd be there. Children are contemplative. They really are. Another one who is a great Dominican, St. Hyacinth, when he was, the Tartars were coming. He was up in the Holland, the northern part. He went to, was it Holland where this happened? Anyway, the Tartars were coming. He said, oh my gosh, he said, I got to go to the Blessed Sacrament before they get here. He went to the church, over there, got the tabernacle, and as he was leaving, this is the true story. If you see holy pictures of St. Hyacinth, you'll see this. He was leaving the church, and the Blessed Mother statue spoke to him. She said, aren't you going to take me? And he looked at, he said, I can't. It's too heavy. I don't know how I'm going to do it. But he said, I better do it. So he picked up the stair, was light as a feather. So if you see a holy card, he's going out of the church with the statue of Mary and the Eucharist. And the one that wrote it that says, you know, when you take Mary, she weighs nothing to you. So anyway, I think I'm supposed to stop here. So God bless you, and anyway, just thank you for being here. Thank you for being good Catholic catechist. That's wonderful. That's just wonderful. God bless all you do, and pray for us, and we certainly pray for you. God bless you. Thank you.